Baby, you know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's Studio Johnny Q time.
I like that time.
That means it is time to drop your nerd drawers, baby.
That's kind of why I like it.
I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm sure it's sexy.
It's sexy. It's so sexy. All right, here we are. Me and my big noggin. Hail and well met, fellow time travelers. I am Johnny Q. This is Studio Johnny Q. I am the aloof goof here with you yet again in our fun-filled studio. Today is Tuesday, which means it is time for Addition Through Distraction, where we provide value add to the monotony with our antics. It's me, and it is Randy. Oh, but we don't have Randy with us at the moment, so we're going to give him hopefully a few moments, and we'll see what's what from there. So, however, where we are at right now, we can go ahead and review our chat topics. So, our titular moment, Introspection, Resurrection. So today we're going to be considering how we can actually better ourselves, how we can grow our brand. We have our next movie night to talk about. We have our mental health minutes topic, which today is Perfection Isn't the Goal. D&D, some of our things that we've been working on are adding custom items through Beyond 20. And so we can talk about that. For the craft review, our Gypsy Wagon, which we just finished. So we'll hopefully be able to clear out some space that we can actually work on that. And then games here recently, we've been playing some Rocket League. I actually played some last night, so we have that to talk about as well. So those are our chat topics. If we go to I'm sure our M50 needs a reboot, so let's go ahead and proactively handle that. Let's give ourselves a descend. First, we'll take a stop at the town of Quaz, I believe. All right. All right, so we've been stuck in the land of minutia. Working through smalls. Management of smalls has been what we've been focusing on here as of late. And we've actually made quite a bit of progress. To that end, yeah, quite a bit of progress. However, we're now getting into the smalls of the smalls. So, what we have kind of in front of us here, well, I mean, here's a whole mini bead box that should be sorted into our other bead boxes. I think we have probably what I consider about 3 or 4 sets of bead boxes. My bead box rocks everywhere we go. Getting utterly respected at every show. Yeah, we're pretty fly here. You best recognize. So, like I said, we're filing through that. We've got all these other little things here So we've got some bins to go through. We've got some beads to sort through. And again, let me take a look and see. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. No, I am muted, but he's not on yet. So, again, that's fine. Must be something up since he hasn't messaged us, so. We will hope for the best. So we've been filtering everything into categories. We kind of have our D&D table stuff, which is a lot of things that are in here that eventually we can move out, find them a new home if they don't already have one. A lot of it is in finding out what's stuff that's, mid progress. We had a lot of items that we came across that, things like our things like our dragon egg. We've got 2 of those that are mid progress. We've got, this mini that whose horns we glued yesterday. So we find, we got a lot of stuff like that. So that's a subsection that we're trying to contend with. Then craft supplies. You got your stuff like your beads, but you also got, things like these lovely guys, that are perfect columns. They're just waiting to be made. So, we're figuring out how to store stuff like that. And that's, a whole subsection to itself. And then there's just a ton of these things that I love to have, which are, little pieces of plastic bits and bobs. Bits and bobs for our bead boxes. So that is the challenge that is in front of us today. Hopefully we get Randy to join us. And if not, we may call it short, at least on the YouTube side today, so that we can have music going while we stream. And we'll continue to stream on Twitch. So let's see. If this was college, we could go ahead and leave class because Randy's more than 7 minutes late. That was the rule. I don't know if it was official or not, but 7 minutes. Excuse me. But we'll give him 15. So, all right. Talking about these containers that we have. So, several years ago, when I first started to get some studio love in my heart, the desire to make a studio was heavily because of Adam Savage and seeing his space, his workspace. And he has these wonderful sorting bins. They call brand, I believe, is Sortimos, and they look very similar to this, but they're not. This is Stanley. Several years later, ended up making some of these, and they're nice because they have all these little individual bins that pop out, and you can arrange them how you want. There's 2 versions. This is the thinner one, then there's also one that's a deeper version of that. I only have, I think, a couple of those. Currently using one of the deeper ones here for Lego pieces that we've been buying from the half-price store. They have them in bags, and we've been kind of strategically pilfering them. When we see things like wagon wheels, or like here's a boat, or here's a little mini bridge. These are like Aztec ruin things. These are some plant stuff. So sometimes you can find some bags. I ended up finding a bag. I don't know if I have it handy here, but that is the goal. It is to make these things handy. We have the pirate ship. Yeah, actually it is. It's right here. That they had at the half price. So one day when we get ambitious, we could look up the instructions online and figure out a base of it, and then, you know, have fun making our own. But just the things like the riggings and the sails and some of the core pieces. Here's a big piece of, you know, ship. So this is, well, one day I can imagine that we'll use Lego and then trick it out with some of our crafting skills. But this is something probably just in the last year or so here in our local half-price bookstores that they started selling that type of stuff. Yeah, here's another one that had some sails for a ship. So again, when it comes time to make some ships, we'll probably incorporate these into it. So you think that, you know, if you're getting that stuff from half price, it's all just going to be just a random jumble of stuff, but a lot of times it's things that they've, multiple things that have been disassembled, so when they're in bags and you can pretty much see what's in them because they're the clear bags, then you're able to kind of say, oh, here's some good stuff. And sometimes they'll just sort them by color too, like, oh, here's a bag of brown stuff, here's a bag of green stuff. And again, when they're doing it from certain sets at one time, they have a tendency for there to be interesting things. We have, I think, the cockpit somewhere around here, the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon that we found in one of the bags. And there was also a Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi riding on a snow speeder that we were able to identify. All right. We have Randy, who's messaged us. He will be joining us shortly. All right. So, so yeah, we have a lot of these boxes that we want to use for some of our smalls. And I have one here that I thought I might use for Lego pieces, but I'm pretty sure that we have another bin that we have for some of that stuff. So I think this box will be for our smalls. We already have one here that's been used for similar purposes. So that we've got this I use for just all my bases. Or for so anything that's round, discus shapes pretty much goes in here. Let's see. And yeah, we've got 3 of our bead bins. So I got 3 that are pretty much like this. And we've got one deep one down here that we can use. I have just for some using right now for bulk beads. Let's see, where is that's for oh, that didn't. Yeah, one of the deep ones that we have some pockets we can dedicate cycles to. All right, let's move this box. Unmute our microphone in preparation of Randy joining us. So the problem that I have right now is I don't have great access to multiple bins at once, which I would like to do. So let's figure this out. Try to keep these things so that they're somewhat accessible to us. This is one that we got the most space for. So we'll want to have this one handy. Perhaps what we'll do is we'll put it back here. We'll clear out this area. Alright. So maybe we can put these two here. This will be up and Adam. Yeah. Alright. That's mostly discs, bases. Those are beads. So we'll maybe do this, yeah, one thing at a time. Alright. Can we put one of the boxes actually here on the surface though? That would be preferable. Alright. So these are so big that they're never going to go into a thing. I'm going to consider these project to be worked on. That's kind of its own category, right? So the eggs and the things like that. So I might elevate that to I actually definitely want to make something out of this. All right. So that clears that up. These are display stuff. A couple of these are very specific pieces that are kind of in this tray here. So let's go ahead and do that. It's very specific. These could potentially get put into something. Put those in there for right now. Shot glasses. Alright, we're making ourselves some space here. You know, this is not the most visually compelling, probably, but I don't know, maybe there's a certain visual ASMR to it. The knolling and the sorting and the such and the such. Okay, so if we take this away for the time being, actually let's take the B box. My B box rocks. Go right there. So, let us, and maybe, if we're lucky, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the good stuff. Good stuff is chat.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Thanks. All right. I'm going to give a couple more minutes and then we're stopping the stream and go on music, and we'll have music even when Randy's on. We'll mix it up. In fact, I'm going to call the ball now. So we're saying goodbye on our YouTube stream. Apologies for anybody who's listening to us there only, but you can follow us on Twitch if you wish to listen. Continue listening. Thanks, everybody. Never cowardly, never cruel, never give up, never give in, never surrender.